these guys are so connected with each other. I think you just you carry those guys that are hurt, that are going through internal pain mentally, wanting to be out there with their teammates. You just hold them in your heart as much as possible, whether you're coaching or playing. You hold them in your heart, and then when it's time to get a little bit tougher, then you go find that place in your heart where you're playing for them, because that's what this is all about, is our little family. You can look for clues in those last two games in terms of what you'd like to do differently, but the reality is you go into that game down a starter will be a little bit different, and so you prepare yourself based on what you have available. You watch them, and then you look at what can this group do that we have right now against that team, which will be different than what we had last time that we played. Both those games are tough. Both those games come down to final possessions. But this will be an entirely new type of matchup because our roster will be a little bit different going into this one. So you just have a 1-0 mentality and try to figure out how you can put your guys in a position to be successful. To be honest, I just approach every game the same. You really want to win it. You try to figure out where you're vulnerable and lock those doors and shut those windows. I think all of us put a lot of pressure on ourselves just day in and day out. Every game means a lot to us. And so the external pressure that comes around a conference tournament, the postseason, big conference games like we've had down the stretch, those are a different type of game. But for us, they truly are the same as all those games that we played in November, all the games in December, January. You play those games the same way when competing means that much to you. I think that these seniors are really the last group that we have with the ultimate perspective on where we are right now. Because when they came, we were a last place program, dead last in the GNAC, and we started those years, picked last in the GNAC, so there was no expectation. Now you're in such a different spot, if we're being honest. This is a disappointing season for everybody at St. Martin's, and we're 21-7, and we finished third in the GNAC. And 21-7, finishing third, if we had talked about that, when those guys came 3 years ago, we'd sort of laugh that became the state of the program, that we were so elite that third place was an underachievement, that 21 games wasn't enough. And so taking a 3 seed into this tournament, I think I'll lean on these guys because they've truly had to come from behind more than anybody in the program now will ever understand. Adversity is now third place. Adversity when these guys came was 10th place and a 6-win season. So I'll lean on them to embrace this last opportunity to go out with that mindset together, to go out with that perspective that's been our journey together. And these guys mean so much to me. More than anything, I'll just lean on this old dog and see if he's got a couple tricks left in March, and ride these guys till it's all over.
Yeah, the only thing that's promised is one game right now, and everyone's kind of 0-0. I mean, everyone is 0-0 right now. So we're only promised one game, with all the seniors that we have on this team, backs against the wall. That's the only game that we have, that's guaranteed left. So taking the treatment, the film, preparing for Anchorage, that's obviously what we'll do. And then going forward, if we're fortunate enough to get that win, then you lean on, the treatment that following day, preparing in the morning, diving into film and, go out swinging. That's what we'll do. Yeah, when I first came in, the record that they had, you're not really thinking about how many championships can we win, or that's even a possibility. So even hearing Coach say that this year's been kind of a disappointment because it has been even third place, that wasn't a real identity 2 years ago. So the only thing that I can answer that with is we haven't won a GNAC, conference championship yet. And so even though we're third place with everyone being 0-0 right now, with 6 teams left, we have something, a chance to do something that we haven't done before. And so, that's one thing that, that's one of the 3 goals that we've had on our list this season, and we have a chance to do that. Well, I can tell you we're hungry. We have a lot of mature seniors, and we'll lean on them. We'll lean on Coach Landon and Coach Ty like we have all year and trust them. They've prepared us better than anyone else, any other coach in the GNAC for every game. And just stay free-spirited and lean on each other, and that's all we really can do. And I know we're in good spirits, and I think everyone on this team wants to play for each other and go cut down a net. No one likes losing, especially on, last-second shots or opportunities. When you have such a mature group that knows how to win those games, that's been really tough. But going into the GNAC tournament, we have a lot of guys that, this is going to be potentially our last college game ever. So I think that's kind of been the internal talk of we don't want to lose for each other. We've came this far and we've still won a lot of games, and I think we don't want to lose. They've been everything. Even when we went up to University of Washington, for that game, that was unfortunate, but we had, over 200 people there. And so that's another thing I didn't really realize when I decided to come to St. Martin's was, how much of influence even the donors and the alumni were going to have on my life. That'll go past basketball, and this year, I've built some great relationships with those people, but the fan base here has been incredible. It's sad that I'll never be able to play another home game here, because even that last game on senior night, there was people packed all the way to the second bleachers. So the fan base, the community, the alumni, everyone in the St. Martin's, program has meant everything. And, hopefully we can get a win for them.